In the world of Demon Slayer, the humans basically have no fighting chance against the demons. The average demon is much stronger, faster, and tougher than a regular person. Even if they get some sort of damage, they can instantly regenerate lost limbs in under a second and even regenerate their brains. Some of the stronger ones also have an ability called the Blood Demon Art, where they essentially use their blood to perform near mystical abilities, from explosive blood to creating ice. They are basically unstoppable super vampires. The only way of truly putting down a demon for good is either the sun or the Nichiren blade, a blade in which the metal can contain solar energy and be used to slice their heads off permanently. Demons have every single advantage physically, so the slayers of the Demon Slayer Corps need to use every single edge that they could get, even if it comes at a great cost. Besides breathing techniques, the strongest technique that they could use is the Demon Slayer Mark. Most of the Hashira have used them. The first time anyone has was the first Demon Slayer Yoriichi, along with the first breath users of the Demon Slayer Corps. These marks appear under very specific circumstances, and when they do, the mark usually appears as a symbol of whatever breathing technique the person uses. Like with Gyome's stone breathing, it resembles large cracks similar to a rock, or Gyu's mark resembling a stream of water since he uses the water breathing. The mark gives the person several advantages to fight the demons, especially the upper ranks. Vastly enhanced physical power, being able to make them fight on equal terms with even upper rank demons who should be the physically strongest and fastest type of demon. The bright red Nichiren blade, making the blade red hot, being able to further nullify a demon's regeneration. It's mainly activated when the user's mark has made them physically strong enough to heat up the blade with strength alone, like friction and pressure. And the see-through world, giving the user the ability to see the anatomy and inside of another person or demon, giving them the ability to even predict another person's attacks, basically X-ray vision. But this technique does come at a cost. Because it is so draining on the human body, it's essentially draining the user of their life energy enough to activate a mark, to the point where if they activate it before the age of 25, they won't live to see 25. Though of course there are exceptions, like Gyome activating it at 27 years old, and Yoriichi having it awakened his entire life and dying from old age. Almost every single Hashira has used a mark, except for Shinobu, Rengoku, and Tengen. Like I said, the mark is awakened under very specific circumstances. You need to have a heartbeat of 200 beats per minute and a body temperature of 39 degrees Celsius or 102 degrees Fahrenheit. There's also whether or not you are in a life or death situation. The most important way of being able to awaken the mark is being in contact with someone who has the mark or has used it before. Rengoku's fight with Akaza, for the duration of it, was a close quarter combat. He could have met the four circumstances, having a very high heartbeat and body temperature, being in a life or death situation, and being near Tanjiro. But at this point in the series, Tanjiro still hasn't activated his Slayer mark, nor has anyone else for that matter. During Tengen's fight with Gyutaro, he had the near perfect scenario of activating the mark. Almost everything was in place. He was fighting insanely hard, and he was in a life or death situation as he was fighting Gyutaro and Daki at the same time, but his heartbeat didn't reach 200 beats per minute as he was poisoned by Gyutaro. When your blood is infected with a poison or venom, the more your heart beats, the faster the ailment will flow through your bloodstream. Tengen literally had to slow his heartbeat down to avoid this from happening, stopping his heart from reaching 200 beats and lowering his body temperature as a result. There was also the fact that while Tanjiro did awaken his mark while he was about to decapitate Gyutaro, Uzue's body just still wasn't at the right standards to awaken it. Lastly, there's Shinobu. It's really a no-brainer as to why she didn't activate it. Doma's main ability is creating and controlling ice. Sure, having a rapid heartbeat can certainly raise your body temperature up when you're in a cold environment, but not enough to where Doma can literally create giant statues of ice. The environment was so cold that the ice was literally freezing her lungs. Pretty soon in the fight, that was when she ended up being killed as a self-sacrifice to poison Doma enough for the other slayers like Inosuke and Kanai to have a better chance at beating him. The only requirement that she had was being in contact with someone who activated the mark, but the other requirements were basically impossible for her to meet. All three of these slayers couldn't awaken their mark for one reason or the other. It would have been cool to see how their designs would have looked like though. Maybe the makeup on Tengen could have resembled an explosion, or Shinobu's resembling a butterfly, or Rengoku's resembling flame as well. I wanted to see how Inosuke's and Zenitsu's marks would have looked like too. Maybe some fangs for Inosuke and of course some lightning for Zenitsu, but that's all up to imagination at this point. Thanks for watching. Tell me what you think in the comments. I got links to my social in the description. Be kind to yourselves and each other. Thanks for watching.